Good evening. Welcome to Yoga in Your PJs. This is our series on Celtic wisdom. This is series number 11, hard to believe. And this is class number 7. So we are going to ground ourselves, so either on your chair or on the mat. And as I was saying, maybe one day try, if you usually do it on the mat, maybe try the chair. Or if you usually do on the chair, maybe try a few poses on the mat. Just do what feels comfortable. And we're going to start tonight by just relaxing the arms and then gently doing some like trunk rotation, like super slow, super slow, super slow. And then reverse the direction. And then back to center. We're going to take a deep breath in. Exhale, putting the hands on the knees. And we're going to inhale. Exhale, chin down to the chest and just relax. And just allowing yourself to feel where you are tonight. What kind of day did you have? Well, it doesn't matter. Just let it go. And now relax your arms. Breathe in, breathe out. And allow yourself to feel this moment as sacred. Yoga is a sacred practice, we know that. And now super slow, come back up. And you're going to bring right ear to right shoulder. Oops, right ear, right shoulder. I'm not mirroring because lots of your devices already have the mirror in them. So, and back to center, other side. So this whole series is about sacred Celtic principles, sacred Gaelic principles. Back to center. We're going to bring the little fingers together in front of the heart. We're going to inhale and open into the blade pose. And just allow yourself to breathe fully. And from here, from the belly up, inhale. Feel the belly, the chest, and then exhale down back into the belly. So do you remember? Now back to center. We're going to open again. Let yourself just be open. You don't need to do anything, just need to be present. Do you remember the first 6 sacred Celtic principles? I'm going to go over them. I hope I remember them. Back to center, and then bring those arms together. Not pressing, not pushing, gently touching. Energy work here. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, gently push forward. There's not really any physical movement. It's all energy work. Inhaling, prana, energy goes up. Exhaling, it pushes forward. And just hold. This is sacred right here, this moment, when you are fully present. So the first 6 sacred principles were sacred soul. Now interlace your fingers. Palms towards the ceiling. Inhale, up. Exhale, gently fold. And continue to flow. Sacred soul, sacred feminine, sacred flow, sacred song, sacred earth. And our hands behind our head, we're going to let ourselves be open and trusting the hands to hold us. Sacred imagination. And tonight, our 7th principle is sacred matter. Matter matters. Sacred matter. The Celts really believe that spirit is in everything that has been created. Inhale the arms up, exhale to your right, find your block, relax to the side. And they say that it is from stuff, it is from stuff, from matter, from the matter of the universe, from the stuff of the universe, that we encounter the divine. It is through that matter, that stuff, that we encounter the divine. If you're using the block on the chair, you're going to inhale back up with the block. If you're not using it, just let it be. and to the other side. So everything that has been created has a spark of the divine in them. The rock, the trees, the sand. Inhale back up. Exhale, palms facing forward. Palms fell to the floor. Push against an invisible wall here. Remember how that saying that we talked about in Sacred Earth, that the cathedrals, mountains are the cathedrals of nature. We're going to do circles with the hands. That was John Murray who said that. And reverse direction. Our mudra is, let's do Kali Mudra. Palms together, interlaced fingers, index fingers pointing. Spiritual purification, spiritual cleansing. Because if spirit is in matter, in everything, then it means that just by going out in nature, we can purify our spirit, we can be cleansed. And we feel that way sometimes, all the time. You go out in nature, and since everything around you is infused with the divine, you feel cleansed, you feel purified. So taking a few moments to think about stuff, matters, things that we can touch, physical things, and how spiritual they are, how they can help you get closer to the divine. And then we're going to twist. We're going to inhale the arms up, exhale, left hand to right knee. We're going to twist. In the chair, you can just grab the back of the chair. So we have one person who really represents sacred matter, who really taught us about it. And it was Celt from the French side of the Celtic tree. Inhale back up, exhale other side. So, and you've all heard about him. It's the French priest, scientist, philosopher, Jesuit, Pjs Celtic. Pjs Celtic. Inhale back up. Exhale, hands to the knees. We're going to do our turtle. So coming to a butterfly position on the mat like Trudy. So feet further away from you if you're in the chair, on the stool or a little chair in front of you. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, slide the arms under the legs and relax. So Pjs Celtic, he was born in 1881 and he died in 1955. So he lived through 2 world wars, and he was right in that bridge between 2 centuries, 20th, 19th, and 20th. And he was raised very Catholic, French Catholic. At that time, and even when I was growing up in France, being Catholic was pretty strict. There were some rules, and God was just in the church. God was just in heaven. He was not anywhere else. So he was taught, like I was taught, that there was separation between God and the physical world, between heaven and earth. And the physical world was bad, and we wanted to get away from the spiritual world to be closer to God. So we didn't really want to have any desires and not be attached to things. And he always knew, even as a child, that it was not so, that God was in everything. God was not just inside the church, he was outside the church as well. How do you feel about that? I'm going to take 4 more breaths. And the thing is, most of us as children, we feel that way. We see God everywhere. We love to go outside and touch the rocks and touch the dirt and the leaves and the trees and the water. we are in awe of everything. And as we become adults, we lose that childlike sense of awe that the sacred is everywhere. Now we're going to come up into balancing flower, balancing lotus. You like Trudy? It's harder to lift in the chair. And then we're going to do the tortoise, which is another version of the turtle. You just open your legs wider and you fold. So when you're on the mat, you can open them as wide as you can. He still became a priest, a Jesuit priest, which was kind of like the thing to be in France in those days. Two of my uncles went to seminaries. Neither of them became priests, but both of them, they just wanted a wife and a family, but both of them actually ended up serving people. One of my uncles ended up serving youth, a youth in trouble, becoming a social worker for youth, and the other one ended up serving through people who don't have as much as we do, helping them to find jobs, helping them to budget, just helping them. So, but he decided to be a priest, and he became a priest, and right away he made his vision clear. I'm gonna do 5 more breaths. And come out into balancing flower or balancing a happy baby. And release into your butterfly, Bodhakonasana. Get a little closer to the body, and here, kind of feel into your body. You want to stay here, you want to fold. What feels right? So we used to say that at the heart of matter, at the heart of anything that is matter that we can touch, is the heart of God. And this is a Celtic belief. They were very close to the earth. They worshipped in the forest, they didn't really have buildings, they didn't have a hierarchy. It was just a sense of freedom, just like in nature. And he refused that separation of spirit and matter. He said God is infused in everything. And this is very much the yogic beliefs too. Few more breaths. And super slow, come out. Let yourself rest. Maybe put your hand inside your thighs. Let yourself be open and rest. And now we're going to do a deer pose. So deer pose, Trudy is going to bring her right leg in this position. So on the outer edge of her foot, and she's going to bring the other leg back. And then kind of see, everyone's going to look different here. Everyone's going to feel different. And then on the chair, if you want, you're going to put the outer edge of your foot on that block. And you're going to bring that leg back. And sometimes I like to have a bolster here. I can rest my leg on it. And you can have a pillow, a bolster here, and you can fold over it. And you want to feel it mostly in your hip flexors of that back leg, but we will also feel it in the front leg. And as I always say, you feel it where you need it. On the chair, you can also do it on the stool here. And just let yourself relax. So when yoga started 5,000, 6,000 years ago, it was all about a connection to the divine, meditating, chanting. And the yogis realized that the physical mattered, the matter mattered, and that if your body is not involved with your rituals, with your spiritual practice, there's something missing. And if the body is sick or healthy or can't move very well, the spiritual practice is going to suffer. And they realized that you could find the spiritual in the body. And that's when they started to do poses. And they started to involve the body in the yoga practice. And that came later. Hatha yoga, the physical practice, came much later. So Teilhard de Chardin was very much of that same opinion, that the physical is not bad, matter is not bad, and that God is in everything he created. And he said, do not be afraid to see matter as sacred. And he said that because this is something he heard. He had a vision when he was 30 years old. He had a vision. He saw a light come out of I think a rock or even the soil. He saw a light, and that light talked to him and told him, do not be afraid to see matter as sacred. I am in everything. The light is in everything. And super slow, come up, if that's okay with your back. Lift the heart. And if you need some movement, you can do a very slow movement, yin movements. You don't have to move if you don't want to move. And just hold. And then remember, transitions are the most powerful, powerful moments. So make your transition super, super slow. Bring the legs back to center. Take the time to shake them. Do what feels right. In yin yoga, you want to do what feels right. Your body tells you. Other side. So it's going to be the left foot on its outer edge. And then you're going to bring the other leg back. And I'm going to do the bolster now to show you. And then you can put the bolster here. And just like this. And just relax. And allow yourself to feel in this pose, this one yoga pose that involves the body, that involves matter, muscle, bones, skin, that's all things we can touch. And allow yourself to feel how this position of the body can be sacred, infused with the sacred. We'll do 3 more breaths. And now check with your body. Do you want to stay low? Do you want to clap? Do you want to stay still or do you want to do some flows? Take your time. And then hold. And super slow, gentle transition. Come back to center. Shake it off. And then if you're on the chair, grab your strap. If you're on your mat, we're going to go to our side. We're going to do the cat putting it still. So you're going to go on your side and you're going to prop yourself up on your elbow like Trudy's doing. Legs are extended. And then you bring the top leg forward. Yeah, you're good. Very good. And you hold here for a little bit at first, just kind of feeling how it is. And you can go lower. You can just relax everything to the mat. And now, if you want, you can bend the back leg and grab it with the top arm, if that's okay. This is optional. On the chair, we're just going to do the strap around the ball of the right foot. And you can have your stool in front of you here. What you're going to do, bring the leg here. And see, that's the midline here. You're going to bring the leg a little bit past the midline. So a little bit past the midline. This leg can just stay like this, or it can go back. And you're just going to breathe. So from his belief that the divine was in matter, that matter was sacred, Pjs Celtic came into the aspect of love. He said that we should love matter, we should love and respect the earth and everything that has been created on this earth. And he said that the universe and everything in the universe, it is something that loves and that can be loved. So everything loves and can be loved. And when he says love, it doesn't mean, I love it, I want it all. No, the kind of love where you respect, not where you just take. And now the release here is very important. So you're going to let that leg, that top leg, you're going to let it to the side, and you're going to roll over to your belly and chest. And you're going to put one hand on top of the other hand and the forehead on the hands. And you're going to relax here in a transition. On the chair, we're just going to bring the two legs here and we are going to relax. And now you're going to bring the leg that's extended, that's to the side, you're going to bring it parallel to the other leg. And just hold for a few more breaths. And then we're going to roll over to the other side to do the other side. So roll over to your right side, and the top leg is going to go, whatever leg you did, it's going to go forward first. Here on the chest, wrap around the ball of the left foot. Then if you want, bend the back leg, grab it if available or not. And here you're going to go past that midline. And you can bring that other leg here. If you have a pile of blankets like me, resting on it, or just leave it like this, leave it bent. So very gentle, you bring the leg past the midline. So Pjs Celtic taught that before, the way the Catholic religion he had been brought up in, and was teaching him you only have two choices to love. You can either love heaven or you can love earth. You love heaven, you want to go up to heaven because you don't want to be on the earth. And if you love the earth more than heaven, you are being chastised. That's the way he was raised. And he said, no, there are not only two choices, there's a third choice. And that choice is that we make our way to heaven through the earth. So we love both. We make our way to heaven through the earth because the earth is also sacred. Now, super slowly, you're going to release your belly and chest, never the back, belly and chest. You leave that leg open on the chair. You're just going to go bring two legs parallel and bring the strap around the two legs here. And bring the left leg parallel to the right leg. And just relax and bring. Super slowly, you're going to make your way up to child's pose. On the chair, you can just have your props in front of you and just relax. If you want a more relaxing child's pose, actually, she could have a bolster under her. You have stacks of pillows. So I'm going to tell you this one sentence that Pjs Celtic said, and then let it kind of sit. Let it flow. Sit and flow. God is found in all things. God is found in all things. Kind of digest it. Let it be. And kind of think about what that feels to you. From here, we're going to do the frog. So you can face alongside your mat if you want. This is when Trudy's going to show you. You open your knees and your feet as wide as your hips. Your hips are high. And if you want, you have a bolster under your body. The key is you want those hips high. On the chair, you sit at the top of the chair. And you do the same thing. You relax here. Sometimes I like, on the chair, I like to have a block here. And you're going to feel it right here in those hip flexors. So God is found in all things. And you're going to tell me, well, is God found in evil things? In horrible things that happen? In the fires in Hawaii? In the wars? How can God be found there? Well, when I tell you where Pjs Celtic wrote God is found in all things, where he wrote it, it will maybe puzzle you or maybe give you a lot of respect for him. He wrote that in 1916 during World War I, when he was a helper. He was like a nurse. He helped carry the wounded people, the dead people in the Battle of Dunkirk in World War I. And we all know it was a horrible battle. lots of suffering. And he said the love of the world is inseparable from the awareness of the world suffering. When you have matter, you have suffering. When you have a body, we love our bodies and what our bodies can do, but there's suffering in the body. And he said that's all part of it. And that's why we need to have that great love. This sacred matter comes with great love. Because God is found in all things, in the suffering as well. I'm going to do 30 or 40 more seconds. And allow yourself to reflect on this. God is found in all things. And then take your time. Remember that gentle transition. Coming to your tadpole, your baby frog. The knees stay wide, but you push the hips back. You bring your big toes together. You push the hips back against the back of the chair or sitting on your feet if you're on the mat. And just relax. I'm going to do a shoulder stretch here. So palm up of the right arm, slide the right arm on the left shoulder. Release the right side of your face to the floor or to your block. On the chair, you can do the pose differently. Hug the right arm, left arm underneath. So Teyavishana also said that the core of everything on this earth that is matter, the core of everything is its power to love. So at our core is the power to love. That's the center of our being. And he said that the ego, we have misunderstood the ego. We use the ego to serve our selfish needs. When the ego is here to serve the core of our being, to serve that power of love. And release, other side. So left through this, slide your left arm into your right shoulder, and here just hug the arm. And this is basically what yoga teaches, what the Bhagavad Gita teaches, what the Vedas teach us, that at the core of our being is that power to love. That's the center. That's the center, and that's also what we want to get back to. We want to get back to not something outside of ourselves, like a heaven up in the sky. We want to get back to what is at the center of our being, which is that power to love, that divine power to love. So needless to say, the French Catholic Church did not like what he was teaching. And they exiled him to China. They exiled him to China. Release child's pose. Bring the knees closer together. Bring everything closer together. And rest. They exiled him to China. And in China, he met a mentor, a lady, an American lady, an artist who was his anamhara, his soulmate, I mean, in a spiritual sense. And then after China, they said, we're going to send you into exile. You are not changing. You are still preaching. You're still writing. So we're going to exile you to New York City, to the United States of America. And they exiled him to New York City in the Jesuit Center on Park Avenue. And he continued writing. He continued talking about what he believed in. And I come up super slow, sit on one hip. And today we're actually going to do the pigeon on the back. It is so hot. We are doing as few movements as possible. So come to your back, hug your knees to your chest. Lots of Americans really appreciated Teilhard de Chardin. He's pretty famous in this country. And now you're going to release your feet to the mat. And you're going to bring your right ankle above your left knee. You're going to grab behind your left thigh. And here on the chair, you're not going to grab behind your thigh. You just want to fold here. Just fold. And again, you can roll up blankets. That makes it easier to fold like this here. So he was very smart though. He wrote a lot, and you can check his writings, just beautiful. And he was afraid the church was gonna destroy his writings, because as a priest, his writings belong to the church. So what he did, he gave all his writings to his secretary. He bequeathed her all the writings before he died, so they were hers to do with what she wanted. And he told her, wait a couple of years after I die and then publish them. And that's what happened. He died in 1955. He's actually buried in New York State on the Hudson River. And actually his tomb is now, the property where he was buried was actually bought by the American Culinary Institute. And you can go visit his graves. Lots of people visit his grave, and you have to ask the guard, the security at the Culinary Institute. You have to ask them for the key to go to the graveyard to see Pierre Teilhard de Chardin's grave. So his books were released. The Catholic Church say you are not allowed to read his books, but people still read them. They said that the young Jesuit novices in the seminary, they would hide under the covers with a flashlight to read his books, because his books really brought out a lot of things that they felt. So he said, all we have to do is let the very heart of the earth beat within us. And he said it takes a lot of courage to do that. The word courage comes from the old French word courage, and corps means heart in French. So actually, courage means from the heart, doing something from the heart. Now, super slowly, you're going to release. You can hug your knees or stretch your legs, whatever feels right. Whew. Now we're going to do the other side. Bend the knees, cross left ankle above right knee. You grab behind the thigh, right thigh on the mat. Or here, you just fold forward if you want. And again, allow yourself to feel that sacred matter principle, that what you're doing with your body is sacred. And when we accept the fact that matter, stuff, what we can touch, see, smell, is it's sacred, then we respect it. Let's say, the body is not evil, the body is not sinful. And if we realize, if we really respect the body, then we won't abuse it. Same with the earth. When we accept that the earth is sacred, that the trees are sacred, that the mounds are sacred, we're not going to try to destroy them. So in yoga, when we practice hatha yoga, physical yoga, when we hold that principle in our heart, we're going to do what's good for us. We're going to do the work. We're going to do the practice, the physical practice, but we're not going to go crazy either when, maybe my knees are hurting. I'm going to do the practice on the chair today. We respect the body. We respect matter. And now super slow release. Full body stretch. Then we're going to hug the knees to the chest. And we're going to do a happy baby. And your insteps. On the chair, just prop up the pillows on the stool and hold those legs close to you. Flex your feet if you want. Open them a little wider. And release into your reclining butterfly. Just open your arms if you wish. Let yourself just be open. Teilhard de Chardin said, at the heart of matter is the heart of God. The deeper we move in any created thing, the closer we approach the life from which all life has come. Let us leave the surface, and without leaving the world, plunge into God. When we experience the beat of this sacredness deep within us or encounter it in the body of the earth or the body of another, we have a sense of being addressed by name. In other words, the life at the heart of all life is not just energy, it is presence. The universe is radically relational. In and through matter, we are born for relationship, and at the heart of our relationship with the earth and one another is relationship with the divine. So we're going to release. So we're going to do a long yin bridge today, which is going to be supported. So on the mat, you bend your knees, stack your knees over your ankles, and make sure your knees are not splayed apart. Just have them hug your center, and you super slowly going to lift your pelvis, your belly, your chest, and then you're going to put the block under your lower back, whichever height you want. If you want more of a stretch, higher. If you want less of a stretch, lower. On the chair, we are going to put the bolster, the pillows that you have, the back of the chair, like this. And you can put your legs here if you want. And you're going to let yourself relax like this. Just feeling not just the back stretch, but the front of the body open. So each yoga pose is sacred. It is sacred matter. It is of the physical. Because we pay attention to what we're doing, we are mindful. Each yoga pose is infused with prana, life force, not just life force that keeps us alive physically, but the life force that keeps our spirit alive. And that's why each yoga pose has a benefit for the body, but also for the spirit. And that's the joy of yoga. We don't just teach the body to do things physically. It's a holistic practice. Sacred matter, sacred practice. Maybe 30 more seconds. We'll be getting ready to release, but remember transitions. Be super gentle. Do it super, super slow. When we go too fast, we lose the benefits. So do it super, super slow. Maybe lift gently, remove the block, and then super slowly release the back to the mat. Super, super slow. And then hug your knees when you're ready. Just hug the knees. And full body stretch. Now we're going to do a banana pose. So banana pose is more or less Ardha Chandrasana, the half moon on the back. So we're going to start with the arms up. So right hand is going to grab left wrist or left fingertips. And then you're going to lean to the right. And then you're going to bring your legs to the right as well. You're going to cross. I like to cross the outer leg on the in the leg, but try it the other way and see, depending on your hip rotation, might be different. And then you want to form that half moon, that banana shape. Left hip to the left, legs and arm to the right. And you want to keep your back on the mat. Keep your back on the mat and your shoulders. Very good. You got it. Oh, feel it? And now super slow, uncross, go back up. Woo, shake it out. Other side. So left hand's going to grab right wrist over the fingertips. And then you're going to lean to the side. And then you're going to cross ankle over ankle. Again, I like to do outside ankle over, inner ankle over outside ankle. Just try both, see what works. Sacred matter. And that's what we all have different bodies. That's also part of them being sacred. When we try to say that everyone should have the same body and look the same, we don't respect that each body is sacred. We're trying to make them all the same. Okay, release back up. Woo! Take it off. Okay. We're gonna do our twist. Our legs up, and then we'll be ready for relaxation. I think we're ready. And we're gonna cross, if you're on the mat, bend your legs. You're gonna cross right leg over left, tuck your hip under, right hip under, cross legs, go to the right. And here we're just going to, in the chair, just grab. Or you can just do that if you prefer. And breathe. So Pjs Celtic was very influential. He still is. I'm sure when you look for quotes or when you read books, you always hear people quote him. He was a luminary, and he was very courageous. He was a Celt. He was Gaelic. The French. The French come the Celtic tradition. The Gauls, they were Gaels before being invaded by the Romans, but they kept that Celtic spirit, especially in northwestern France, in Bretagne and Normandy. And now allow everything to fall to the right. And just like the other Celtic teachers we have talked about, he would say that this was very, very important to feel that sacredness in the soul, in the earth, in matter, in everything, or we're going to lose ourselves. Back to center. Shake it out. On the side, cross left over right, and cross legs go to the left on the mat. And here on the chair, just go and the twist. Let everything fall to the left. Twist to the left, turn to the left. Back to center, shake it out. We're going to do our 3-minute legs up. So if you have a wall close to you, you can put your legs up against your wall. Or you can just put them up What feels good for most people is a block under your lower back. On the chair, you can turn around, put your legs up against the wall, or you can go on the floor now. We're not going to get up anymore. Or you can stay here and put your legs up here. So, something else about Thierry Deschardins. He said matter stuff, you know. You in whom I find both seduction and strength. So matters is very seductive, but you can also find strength in matter. You who can enrich and destroy. I surrender myself to your mighty layers with faith. And that's the thing about matter, about things. They are not evil. It's what, as human beings, what we do with them. You know, a rock could be the most beautiful thing, but you could use it to hurt someone. It's not the rock's fault. Let your attractions lead me forward. Let your sap be the food that nourishes me. Let your robberies and inroads, including even the inroad of death at the end, give me freedom. Let your whole being lead me towards God. So he was talking about the core of matter that is spirit. Now, super slowly stop thinking about releasing and do it super, super slow. Super, super slow. Release. Take your time. Now comes one of the sweetest transition from working in the body, putting the body in poses, to just relaxing the body and integrating everything you have done. So find the most relaxing position. You can go back to a butterfly. You can put a bolster under your knees or behind your back, whatever feels right. You can even stay with the legs up the wall. And just take a deep breath in, exhale. And as you continue to breathe and exhale into the release of the body, think of your body as matter. Your body is just made of stuff. It's stuff. And it's sacred. It's sacred stuff, sacred matter. And really allowing yourself to feel the sacredness of your body as you have done those poses with mindfulness, with care. Now you release your body and you allow your body to rest. And this is a time when you really feel one with your body. Every muscle, every layer of skin, every bone, every organ. Allow yourself to feel it. This is, you are made of that. You are made of that matter. And to feel infinite gratitude for that matter that makes you the container of your soul. And gently, maybe starting from the soles of your feet, your toes, all the way up your legs, all the way up to your head, taking your time, just feeling the stuff that you're made of, what your body is made of, and feeling gratitude for it. Even the parts that hurt or that are not the way you want them to be, especially those parts. Awake, O my soul, to the sacred stream of light that runs through me. Awake to it in the body of the earth and every life form. In the moist fecundity of valleys and the hard matter of mountain granite, all things in flux and further becoming. Awake, O my soul, to the sacred stream of light that runs through me. Taking the time to really feel your body and the sacredness of your body and what makes your body. It is through the stuff of the universe, it is through the matter that we encounter the divine. The heart of matter is the heart of God. Taking your time coming back, right? If you want to stay where you are in Shavasana, you can stay. It's your practice. If you want to come up, do it gently, carefully. If you want to come back into Kali Mudra, you can. Pierre Teilhard de Chardin said that the body of the earth and even the human body has a translucence through which the light of the divine can be glimpsed. So remembering that the physical is infused with light, with spirit, that the earth matters, that matter matters and should be respected. As we respect the body, we respect the earth, we respect every living thing, even the rocks, even the trees, the grass, the dirt. That's what sacred matter is about. You want to share a sound of Om with me? The inhale. The sacred in me honors the sacred in you. Namaste.
Namaste.
You, Trudy. Thank you. Thank you for joining us for this Celtic.
Hi.
Thank you, Christine and Trudy.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you,
Appreciate
guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, ladies. Peace, love. Have a good night. And namaste. See you soon.
See you later.